I'm Adam Watson.
I'm Trinity Watson.
This is the Dark Slinger Mafia Power Hour.
Where it might be an hour.
Might be. Sunday, so it's time for another haul video. We're going to be posting these every Sunday, as long as we have hauls to show anyway. So this stack I primarily got at garage sales. I got a few at a few other places. I'll say where I got each one of them though. The first one is a Spider-Man mini comic that I picked up for $1 at a local garage sale. I think this is a promo comic from back in the day. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I just kind of picked it up because I've been picking up mini comics lately. Primarily because we've been making mini comics lately. Mm-hmm. And then the next thing, this is like a little digest. So I actually got 3 of these, and they were all $1 a piece despite the price tags on them. I do wish they didn't have masking tape price tags on them, but it's all right. So these I think are kind of similar to the Archie digests, where they reprint certain stories in smaller sizes. The one thing that I'm going to say about these is anytime Marvel does mini comics, they don't redo the lettering.
Yeah.
Makes it harder to read every single time. It's my biggest complaint about those digests they did for Walmart of the MC2 universe, Spider-Girl and all those.
Yeah, that can be found with like the Sonic Archie digest too.
Yeah.
Is that they never resize anything for the smaller sizes.
Yeah. And then there was a garage sale I stopped at that had some really great stuff, but the guy wanted really great prices for it. So he had like the Death of Dark Phoenix and some more expensive issues, but they were all priced with masking tape. They were pretty beat up copies, and he wanted prices like they were near mint. But then he just had a random stack of dollar bin books. Mm-hmm. And I decided to pick them up primarily for one thing. I picked this up, X-Men Classic number 61, number 62, and 63 out of the stack, all because of these fantastic Mike Mignola covers. I used to have a complete set of X-Men Classic, sold it a couple of years ago on eBay, and as I was packaging up, but I instantly regretted it. Mm-hmm. This is the original way that I read most of the old Uncanny issues. I think a lot of these covers are actually better than what appeared on a lot of the X-Men issues at the time, and I love the fact they have the backup stories too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've decided I'm going to re-get these. Picked up the Mike Mignola. Covers are amazing. But the issue that I primarily picked the whole lot up for was this one. He priced out all of these older issues insanely high, but only valued this as at $1. Mm-hmm. X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. Back when I was an X-Men collector, this is the one book that just kept evading me no matter what. I don't remember exactly how you got this, but this was some sort of promo comic that came out for the Mutant Apocalypse Super Nintendo game. That's why it has Capcom at the bottom. I'm not entirely positive how much it goes for. I don't really care how much it goes for, but I know it's far, far more than $1. Mm-hmm. And then at the Yamhill County Cards and Collectibles show, I picked up a few random things. So one of the dealers who was there were only 3 people selling comics. And I got along with both of the other 2. I'm obviously one of the 3. I got along with the other 2 really well. One of the guys had a box that was just random free comics. For some reason, he just was giving them away. Megaton's something that you hear a lot about. It's the earliest work of like Eric Larson, people like that appear in these. But I've never even seen a Megaton comic in the wild. They're on Lone Star and all that, of course, but I've never actually seen one. So, free box, I went ahead and picked that up. I only took 2 things from the free box just because I didn't want to be a dick about it, He also had a dollar bin. Picked up X-Men Legends number 7 and 10 from that. Do you know what X-Men Legends is already?
I don't.
The whole concept of this is that creators of the past get to return and tell stories that take place in between moments in their other stories. Oh. I don't know what every single one of them is about, but I'm kind of interested because these are the creators that I read when I was a kid. Like Fabian Nicieza, this one is written by Larry Hama. Really good artists are used on these. Billy Tan does that issue. And then out of his dollar bin, I also picked this up, Savage Tales. Looks like it's a Red Sonia book, obviously. She's on the cover. I don't know if she's the only character in it or not. But it looks really cool. So I went ahead and got that for $1. And then the same dollar bin, he had the newsstand non-foil edition of Uncanny X-Men number 350. This is one of my favorite X-Men covers of all time. And it's the much harder to get non-foil edition. So I don't know, I just picked it up. Yeah, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I've never actually read this comic, but I love the movie. I have
great cover.
1 or 2 other issues of this that I picked up randomly from 50-cent bins. So when I have the whole thing, I'll read it. But it's kind of funny, that around the time of the movie, I never saw copies of this in any comic shops or anything like that. Now they're just kind of randomly appearing in cheap bins, it seems like. I don't know exactly what the spider is. I do know it's something that has been around for a long time. I think he might be a pulp hero, but I'm not completely positive of that. I know there's been a lot of iterations of this, though. This particular one is done by Timothy Truman, who did Scout and several other things. Had a run on Conan under Dark Horse. Truman is a really solid creator. So for
I
a
love
buck,
the art for the cover.
yeah, it's a great looking cover. For a buck, why not? And then this is the biggest example in the whole thing of for a buck, why not? I have no clue what Rambo 3. Like, I did not know this existed.
Yeah.
I'm not a giant fan of the Rambo movies, but there was something about this when I saw it. He doesn't even really look like Sylvester Stallone on the cover either.
No.
Blackthorne did a lot of unique, weird things. I think the same dealer also had a 3D version of this, which if it had the 3D glasses, I probably would have picked up. But as is, I don't know. I just couldn't leave that behind for $1. I think I actually walked back to his table and picked that up after I had first passed on it. And then for $1 a piece, I'll pick up pretty much any later X-Men newsstand editions, just based off the rarity level alone, you know. So X-Men number 194 and Young X-Men number 4. And then lately I've been looking for Ren and Stimpy's. For some reason, they've become a little harder to find in the cheap bins.
Oh.
This one is a little later in the run, issue 20, for $1. Yeah, why not? And then Count Duckula. This is a character I only have just the barest memories of from when I was younger. But this is a Nightmare on Elm Street parody.
Amazing.
For Count Duckula, which this is an all ages book. I'm about 99% positive, right?
Yeah.
And it's doing a Freddy Krueger parody. It's clearly Freddy Krueger. He says right there, you know, it's Elm Street, sir. So, oh, and he even mentions Freddy right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I couldn't leave that behind for $1. I don't think I've ever bought a Count Duckula before, but that just looked too good to pass up. And then the newsstand edition of X-Men number 165. I really like this cover. Whoever's throwing snowballs at him must be like Iceman or Storm level, because they're just taking him out with all the snowballs.
Wolverine's KO'd in the snow.
Yeah, nice Salvador LaRocca cover on that. But I like the cover. Looks like it's a Christmas type thing. Man, it's a newsstand edition. Yeah, I'll spend $1 on that. And then
another amazing Emma cover.
Yeah, another amazing Salvador LaRocca cover.
Salvador LaRocca.
So it's another newsstand edition, number 167. So then got Bone number 16. I actually own the Bone 1 edition, but it doesn't have the covers in it or the letters or whatever. There's very few things that I actually want the graphic novels and the single issues both of. For whatever reason, Bone is just one of them that I want in both ways. I didn't have number 16, so for $1, I picked that up. And then Purgatory, I could not tell you which issue. It's probably on the back. That's okay. I'm not going to open it up at the moment. That was another dollar bin one at that show. I'm picking up any of the older Chaos stuff. This is something that's old in Chaos, so, might as well. And then this came from the same convention. This was another one that was a dollar bin book. Another X-Men classic Mike Mignola cover. And then this was in a 50-cent bin at that con. Turns out I already own that. Oh. I was picking up all of the Topps Comics Dracula. I know I'm missing just one issue out of the run, but I keep forgetting to write down which issue number before I go places that'll have bins. So I end up with a duplicate of that. You want it? Mm-hmm. I take it. And then these rather weird comics. So I'm trying to read more in the underground.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Looks very underground.
Yeah, Dog Boy. Mm-hmm. So I picked up a bunch of these. I found them randomly at a garage sale for 50 cents a piece. And as you can see, I got quite a few of these. So there's quite a few undergrounds that I've read, and there are many, many, many more that I have not. And this seems like it had enough of a following to go several different issues under a few different publishers. So some of these are done by Cathead Comics and some of them are by Fantagraphics. The problem with this, it's well drawn, but the problem with it is all the jokes are just insanely locked in the time period that it came out in. It's not funny by today's standards. If you're looking for something to just kind of study the artwork of what would essentially be like an underground type comic, I'd say go ahead and pick this up. It was published? It doesn't actually say what year it was published. It turns out it wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. Then Disavowed. So this is something that Homage Studios put out. I know I'm missing like a single issue from this one too. I picked this up thinking it might have been the one I was missing. Turns out it's not. The artwork is really, really cool in this story. The story itself is weird as hell. It's kind of about magic, kind of about psychics, kind of the resurrection of Christ.
Okay.
It's a weird, weird book that doesn't have a really steady direction. It's good though. I actually do like it well enough that I want to pick up the last issue of it. The art, if I recall right, does change like halfway through, but in any case, I end up having that one. So if you want it, you can have it.
Sweet.
And then this is the second book I picked up in the free bins. Generation X Gen 13 crossover.
Nice.
I think I already have a copy of this, but I went ahead and grabbed this one specifically just to do on this channel. And then at another garage sale, got the whole stack after everything we bought there, probably paid around 30 cents a piece for these. So this is the Adventures of Aviori #1. I have no idea what this is. I couldn't even find it on Lone Star, issue #4 as well. I found a couple of copies on eBay. What it looks like is this Young Eagles, whoever that is, I don't even know who that is. They did this in cooperation with Stan Lee Media. Mm-hmm. The guy kind of looks like Invincible, but with a scarf around his neck. So
yeah.
I don't know what this is. I don't know. Maybe we'll take a look at it. It might be kind of fun. I've never heard of it. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Yeah. It's new to me. And then in that same lot, Ultimate Fantastic Four #27. I probably would not have bought this. That's literally only something I ended up with because of this, Venom on Trial #1. I know that the Venom comics around this time period are actually getting a little harder to find. So I've never actually seen this one. Some of the Venom books are actually pretty fun. So I don't know. I might give that a try. It's hard to say. Then Venom Lethal Protector #1. That's, of course, a bit more sought after because it's his first solo series. But Venom's not a favorite of mine, so I don't know if I'll ever actually get around to reading him or not. And then Ghost Rider 2099 #5. I have the omnibus for this, so I don't really need this. But that is a cool cover. And then Venom the Hunted. Same thing as with the others. This is getting later in the Venom miniseries, I think, 96. So it's not something you see all the time, but at the same time, Venom doesn't really interest me. So then 2 more things that I wouldn't have bought unless they came to me this way. These were freebies that were in newspapers. About 12 years ago, 13 years ago, something like that. Each one of them reprints half of the Steve Ditko, Stan Lee Spider-Man issues. I kind of think they should have updated what they were offering for free in the newspapers. I don't think a lot of kids these days are really going to be drug into Spider-Man comics by things that came out in the Silver Age. I think this is more something that you grow to have an appreciation for after you already like comics. But, maybe I'm wrong about that. And then something else I definitely would not have picked up unless it came in a lot like this. Doctor Who, some sort of Wizard World Comic-Con exclusive. I have no idea. I'm not interested in Doctor Who. So, anything else? Any questions?
Don't think so.
All right, let's go make some comics. We didn't create the comics that were featured in today's episode, but we did create these. Check out Ghost Assassin in the Cards and the Chihuahua Who Flew Away mini comic, both of which were written by me. The Chihuahua Who Flew Away was illustrated
By me.